All right, y'all. So let's get into another jam-packed video. Today, we're not going into the actual stocks per se, but we're just gonna go into a very common business, a very familiar business that we have here, Party City. Party City. So, word is Party City is going out of business after 40 years. It's crazy that I see these buildings everywhere. I see them everywhere. I see them by Publixes and WalMarts and in just about every plaza. I see Party Cities just about everywhere throughout these cities, right? But it's not shocking that they're actually going out of business. We have to think of their actual business structure and their actual overall outline and what they stand for, and what we're actually going through as a society, and the growth that we're going through in terms of technology and the advances that we've been having for the past years. Not only that, but also social issues and economic issues. All of that plays a helping hand into what we're seeing now. Of course, this didn't happen overnight, so I'm going to go into a few details so you understand what's going on. So, pretty much, Party City is going out of business after 40 years. And like I said, this is more expected than a shocker. And I can say for myself, I kind of thought they should have already, and I don't want to say this in a negative way, but they should have already went out of business because they haven't adapted to the new world that we're headed towards and that we're already in. And being so that this is the case, it became a problem to them. You can't make money, you can't generate revenue and profits when you haven't adapted to the new norms of society. Because if you understand, you have to understand what business is. You're providing some kind of value, some kind of want or need to the overall society, and in return they're giving you the cash, they're giving you the money, they're giving you their hard-earned income. So if you're not hitting them where they need to be hit, if you're not hitting them in terms of a want or a need, what's going to happen is you're not getting that traffic that you need. You're not going to get that traffic. So this is what happened in the case of Party City. They've been in business for a good 40 years. I remember going into Party City to buy certain, costumes and stuff like that for specific events or whatnot. I actually went this past year for Halloween for a party or whatever, but it's crazy. But let's get into it. So the CEO, Barry Litwin, said it was necessary to commence a wind down process immediately. So basically what they're doing, they're closing all the stores within the US. I believe there are some stores that are going to remain open in Canada, but within the US itself, they're closing all the stores immediately. So they're not even going to wait. Remember, Party City already went bankrupt one time, and I think they filed bankrupt for a second time. So and they also got delisted from the stock exchange in 2023. So these are all bad signs, very bad signs. While speaking Friday with Party City staff, the CEO said that Party City's very best efforts have not been enough to overcome the issues it's been facing, and that the company has done everything possible to try to avoid this outcome. And Party City's retail footprint in North America included over 700 company-owned and franchise stores as of late October. So a lot of these stores are going to close down, and a lot of jobs will be lost because they have to get rid of the employees. That's another thing. So difficulties from inflation, debt, and other factors reportedly hurt the company. So now we can get into more detail with this, right? So the global supply chain, as well as during the pandemic, no one wanted to have all these events during the pandemic. The pandemic hurt their pockets so much. It's crazy, and this is what I mean by those. It was hard for them to adapt to the actual issues and circumstances that we were going through as a society. And so when the pandemic kind of had everyone in lockdown, who's going to Party City to buy anything? And that's why you saw companies like Amazon skyrocket, because everyone was on the internet buying stuff. You saw Zoom skyrocket. You saw Salesforce skyrocket. People were working from home. You saw Nvidia started skyrocket. Nvidia started trickling up there. You know what I'm saying? Because people are at home, and a lot of the technology that we're using need the chips. I even bought an Nvidia graphics card for my computer to play games, while during the pandemic. So these are companies that were fluid enough to adapt to the situations at hand. Something like Blockbuster, the whole Blockbuster situation with Netflix. If we think about that and we look at Party City as well, Party City has become a dinosaur company. Even though it's been up only 40 years, it's become a dinosaur company. And so if you look at like the Blockbuster and Netflix situation, so you look at Blockbuster, when Blockbuster was, you had the videos in store, you would rent the videos, you watch the videos, return the videos. But as time progressed, you started getting the DVDs. It switched up to DVDs, right? Then you started getting the internet, switched up to the internet. Then Netflix started coming out, right? So Blockbuster didn't want to make that change to where it's like, okay, let's have a streaming platform. They didn't want to make that change, so they couldn't have that foresight, and they didn't want to even get into the deal with Netflix to make this possible. If they would have just made that change, they would have been bigger than Netflix. But the thing is, now they haven't adapted to the actual new world of the internet, and now they were phased out. Same thing with Party City. A lot of we don't really care too much for. A lot of us are going more digital. Everything is more digital. You have more AI stuff. You have more metaverse type virtual stuff going on, social media. So no one is really hanging out physically like that in terms of parties. When parties are being held, a lot of this stuff can even be bought on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Like Party City is exclusively for party items, but you can find a lot of this stuff on Amazon. You can find a lot of this stuff in Walmart. And Walmart is never gonna go away, because Walmart is the first store to give items at a low price, and there is a variety of items that are there. So Party City was mainly focused on party items, but then you have Amazon, you have third-party companies that where you can get balloons cheaper. You know what I'm saying? You can get costumes cheaper. You don't even have to go in the store. You don't have to go in the store. You could just order off Amazon. So this is what I mean by the difficulties from inflation, debt, and other factors. Now another thing is, man, I want to get into the charts. Let me see something. So when Party City completed its Chapter 11 bankruptcy last year, it said it has substantially strengthened its capital structure by eliminating nearly $1 billion in debt, enhanced its liquidity so the cash flow was there, and optimized its Party City store portfolio by having negotiated improved lease terms and exited less productive stores. But that's not going to change, because your business structure is the same. Your marketing is the same. The individual, the demographic is the same. Everything is the same. You haven't really changed anything. You haven't adapted. They were removed from the New York Stock Exchange, as I said before. But yeah, so let's look at what's been going on with them. let's go into the debt. So he had approximately 6,400 full-time and 10,100 part-time workers as of 2021, and Party City filed for bankruptcy in January 2023 because they struggled to pay off a $1.7 billion debt load. As a result, it was delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. That's a very bad site, man. Very bad. Very, very bad. Let's look at some data. Let's see. Looking at the actual chart for Party City. You can kind of see it's what it was going to do as price went up, as the actual price went up, and it peaked here, and this was 2021. It peaked in 2021, June 2021, and then from there it kind of just tanked, and it hasn't been going up since. And once it broke this zone right here, it's pretty much a wrap. And I could have said that I could have put an option play, but it got delisted. But I could have put an option play if I was trading this and I was as skilled as I am now. I could have put an option play for this, just for it to tank. Because look at this. This is crazy. So I mean, like I said, the charts always show everything before the actual events. So those are the charts, and if we look at the actual numbers, you start seeing like the operating expenses are like 275,000, with the income being negative 18,000. So this is crazy because you're not even making as much money to cover your expenses, and this is every single year. You're not making enough money to cover your expenses, and that's a problem. So it was pretty inevitable for this to happen. Party City is closing all of its stores, even though it's been out for 40 years. It's been up and running. But just some news I wanted to share. If you grew up with Party City just like you grew up with Blockbuster, this has now been vintage stuff. It's antique now. It's a dinosaur. So with that being said, that's pretty much it. I just like going over a few news content videos with you guys, so you guys know exactly what's going on. So for the key takeaway for this is this: if you're gonna start a business, you have to be able to innovate, improvise, adapt, and grow. When it comes to the actual growth, you have to have your ears on the streets. So you can't be an individual who is too high up where you don't understand what's going on the lowest level, the front line. So something like this could have been prevented if Party City possibly started going more of like the social media technology route. I know that's probably like something you wouldn't even think of, but think about it. Maybe if they partnered with something like Minecraft to open up Party City shops within Minecraft, so the kids can buy party items and stuff like that, and throw parties within Minecraft. Something as simple as that, where it kind of integrates the older model and the viewpoint with the newer model, and it'll allow it to be more sustained and not be phased out, because that's pretty much what happened. It got phased out. And then if you could have catered to the kids and women always have some kind of cash flow when it comes to the household, because they're the ones who determine where the money goes in a household. You're not gonna say no to your kids, and you won't say no to your wife. So those are my takeaways with that. Just if you're going to open up a business, you want to be able to be fluid. You want to understand your market, and you want to be able to adapt to whatever situation that may occur, and not just sit back and watch and wait for things to happen. But until next time, Sharks of Wall Street, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe. Please share your thoughts on what's going on with this and with Party City. And until next time, yeah, have a good one. Let's keep on making this money.